I believe the time has arrived. I want to make sure that everybody in the committee has a copy of these, the ones particularly wasn't here from the subcommittee, have a copy of all the bills that we're going to be looking at today. I think we have 3 different bills that we're going to be looking at. If you don't, let me know. We'll get one to you. I want to thank everybody that came today. Obviously, most of you probably were here for the subcommittee meeting earlier, and so I expect this committee meeting to go very smoothly. And thank you for being here. And as we get started, I think we have first on the agenda, we'll recognize Representative Kidd. Oh, we'll hear from you. Subcommittee Chairman, do you have a report on this from your subcommittee? You're on.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. We discussed House Bill 76 ad nauseam earlier. We unanimously passed out. There was one change, as noted on line 114. We amended House Bill 76 by changing the date on line 114 to December 31st, 2012. With a typo out of Legislative Council that says 1015. That should be 2012. Other than that, it came out unanimous.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Is there any questions? I'm open for. We have a first and a second on the do pass. Any questions? All in favor by saying aye?
Aye.
All opposed? Unanimous. Thank you very much. Representative Kidd. Next, we have up our governor's floor leader, Representative Carter.
That works. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I bring before you House Bill 264, LC 361741. It is the governor's bill regarding the Council for the Arts. We are proposing to transfer the Council for the Arts from the Office of Planning and Budget to the Department of Economic Development. You'll see throughout the bill, lines 15, 21 on down, that it's simply a change of from one department to the other. On over to the the next 2 pages are those changes. 38 other states do this way, so it'll be a good way for us to go. But it seems like a perfect fit for the council to be within the Department of Economic Development, being that it's tourism, so many different events that we have throughout the state that are cultural events that bring folks to our communities, and it'll just fit beautifully with the department and within the tourism division. And the the council will stay completely intact. It's just simply moving it over as a budget item from one department to the other.
Thank you. And Chairman Allison, do you have a subcommittee report?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Again, as before, we heard House Bill 264 from Representative Carter and had a unanimous do pass from the committee.
Any questions from the committee? I'm open for a motion. We have a motion do pass and a second. I believe that's LC 211091S. All in favor? Any opposed? We have a unanimous consent to pass LC 211091S. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Madam Floor Leader. We have a correction here. I was looking at the wrong bill. My apology. Thank you very much for bringing that to my attention. Let's relook that CAF. We have a motion. I have a motion and a second. Do pass of LC 361741. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Unanimous. Thank you very much.
Thank
it did
you
pass.
again.
And we have before us now our distinguished chairman of this committee, Representative Stevens, Chairman Stevens, and thank you very much for coming before us today.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I bring before you House Resolution 251. After several years of feasibility studies and moving forward on the cruise ship lines in Savannah, the city of Savannah and surrounding, they're taking the next big step to try to bring cruise ship lines to Georgia. They've done 2 feasibility studies. They both came back much better than any of it's expected. And one of the things that the study told us that it would produce was about another 22,000 jobs in the area with an economic impact of about 1.9 billion down to the area. It's the areas of concern. I see some of my representatives here from Savannah. The areas of concern for the 3 that we may be putting the terminal would be on River Street side or on the Trade Center side, for those of you familiar with Savannah. Will not interfere with traffic from the Georgia ports. With those 300,000 jobs that are associated with the Georgia ports, they're in support of moving forward. And also the pilots that bring these ships in and out have also expressed interest in this particular project. All this is not a resolution that requires any money. All that we're trying to do is send a signal that the state is interested in bringing cruise ship lines to Georgia.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And do we have a subcommittee report from our Chairman, Allison?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. We've heard House Resolution 251 from Chairman Stevens passes out of the subcommittee unanimously.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Do we have any questions? Who's number 5?
That's me, Al Williams. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for bringing this resolution. I just have a question. It's a lot of money. You got any idea how many of those jobs and how much of that money will float across to Geechee and Liberty County? I'm just curious.
Good question. We hope that Liberty County definitely receives a whole lot of the benefit there.
Well, we'll be at the river.
Thank you.
One additional question.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, is this going to, are we going to have to wait till the farmers leave them? Is this a project that can move on before that happens? And if so, could you do that?
Sure. And I appreciate the question. The harbor deepening that we're waiting on the federal funds to come in to get us down to 48, 49 feet won't interfere with this at all. In fact, the current depth of the river will suffice with lots of room to spare for the particular cruise ship lines. Everyone that's out there available today would be able to come into the Savannah port. And I might add, with the question, is we're intending to steal from one of our southern cities, and I won't name which one because I don't want it in the press, but I can tell you that finally Georgia is going after some of the business that's down south.
All right.
Representative Bryant.
Yes, sir.
In due time, I would like to make a motion.
I will recognize you at that time. We have one other question. I'm not sure who it is.
Me. Braddock. The expansion of the port, will it accommodate the larger cruise ships like Royal Caribbean has? Because they seem to set the trend, and then the other ones follow suit, building, the larger ships. And I think that would be huge if we could accommodate those. Do you know if it'll handle that?
It will. Even the current depths for the largest cruise ships that are being made, and even the ones that are planned for the future, which are phenomenal. I mean, they're floating skyscrapers essentially, but even those depths will fit with the current depth of the Savannah River.
Okay, thanks.
One more question.
Not relevant to the bill, but what is the current depth of the Port Savannah River in terms of berthing the ships, and what does a cruise ship generally need? I'm sorry, I'm having
Representative Bryant and others may have that exact number. I think we're at like 38 feet. We're going an additional 10 feet to bring us to 48, and then we're going to essentially take one more foot with additional funding that we got to make it 49. But currently we're about 10 feet, even at low tide, mean low tide, about 10 feet more water than is necessary for the cruise ship lines to get in.
Great, thank you.
I believe Representative Bryant wants to answer that question.
Yes.
Also, we'll recognize you for the motion when you get done. But if it's not a conflict of interest, since you're from Savannah.
No, I live in Garden City.
Okay, that's good.
The depth of the river in Savannah is 42 feet.
It is.
So definitely does not present a problem with any of the cruise ships. And at this time, Mr. Chairman, I would like to make a motion that House Resolution 251 do pass.
Thank you. We have a motion. We have a second. Second. All in favor? Anybody opposed? You can order your cruise ship tickets next week. Thank you very much. We have one more order of business. If you stick with me a second, on our House Economic Development and Tourism Committee rules of 2011, on item number 1, the quorum for the committee shall be 6 members. We need to clarify that to say a quorum for the full committee shall be 6 members. We ran into a little problem earlier on a subcommittee, so we need to make that change. Do we need to do that in form of a motion? And so move, and a second? We have a move and a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Do we have a motion for adjournment? So move. So we are adjourned. Thank you very much.